Hello and a very warm welcome to the Internet of Things Made Simple. I'm Leonard Humer. This is our 5th episode in our 2nd season. Many thanks for joining us. Shout out to any first-time listeners. Welcome aboard. If you are new, why not check out our webpage, theinternetofThingsMadeSimple.com. There's a bunch of great material there, including links to free ebooks, podcasts, and much more. As a final quick ask, well, two actually, if you listen to this podcast using a podcast service, kindly subscribe to it. And if you can, leave a comment or review. Today we're going to talk a bit nerd. Not too much, but just a little, as we talk about sensors and specifically how they are likely to be the main driver towards the march to self-driving cars. The use of sensors is very common today in most cars. I have commented that cars are basically computers with wheels, and it's driven by the incredible number of sensors that bring back information to the dozens of computers on your car. However, cars from the last few years are taking this to a brand new level. My Acura is pushing 10 years old, and while it was state-of-the-art when I got it, I mean, who had both Bluetooth and a USB charging port back then? It seems like I'm driving a horse and buggy compared to my wife's car. It has all the toys, lane departure warnings, backup and cross-traffic warnings, and cruise control that will bring you to a stop automatically. All of these features form what is now called semi-autonomous driving, and all require advanced sensors to do their work. In this episode, we'll examine sensors on today's cars, covering some of their current issues, talk about some of the issues that the limited nature of sensors are causing the developers of self-driving cars, and talk about where they might go in the future to finally enable us to sit back and watch Netflix while the car drives us. The sensors on today's cars allow for a lot of the features that I mentioned. However, they're not overly intelligent. They don't know the difference between a kid's bike and a wall. They just know you're about to back into something. They also have a lot of limitations. On my wife's car, there's a sensor in the middle of the grille. The sensor is used to perform the trick that the cruise control will do that I mentioned to earlier, where it can auto brake to keep you from hitting the car in front of you. During a snowstorm last year, I had to clean the sensor twice as I received a warning each time that it was unable to see properly. The same holds true for most sensors, as they have issues with moisture. These same limitations are being felt by those attempting to develop fully autonomous or self-driving cars. Most use a combination of camera, radar, ultrasonic, and LiDAR sensors. I'll explain those in a bit. Even using these sensors, the cars can't see well enough to handle most of the situations of heavy traffic, and they truly suck when the weather gets bad. On several afternoons in the summer, one of my Ring cameras gets blasted with an incredible burst of sunshine, rendering it pretty much unusable for a short time period. Scarily, this happens to some of the video cameras on self-driving cars. Apparently, radar technology is not much better. Sure, it can detect the speed of an object, but it has the vision capability, to quote a New York Times article, of Mr. Magoo. Ultrasonic sensors sound nerdy, but they really just measure how close an object is by bouncing sound waves off of it. They are great, but only up close. Finally, you have LiDAR, which is an acronym for light detection and ranging, and it has some good upside. It can create a 3D image of a person or an item, but it has issues seeing too far and definitely has issues in the rain. Yeah, rain. That does seem to be the biggest issue for self-driving cars. At least it has been so far. So this may hurt its use in Seattle and other areas. To overcome this, they're turning to something we have seen in many cool military movies over the years. And to not keep you in suspense too long, that cool technology is infrared. The latest iteration of infrared seems to solve the issues with the rain. In fact, some demonstrations show that they can detect people from hundreds of feet away, even during a heavy downpour. These systems are far from new. They've been part of night vision technology for a long time now. They also seem to work equally well in the day as well. So far, it does seem to work. These systems are detecting people and animals through the heaviest of fog and even smoke. Is infrared the key to our success? It may be, but companies are not stopping there. Enter in a new technology that allows you to see what the human eye could never see, what is below the ground. Advanced radar technology allows you to see up to 10 feet below the ground, at least for a few minutes at a time. It apparently has the attention span of a toddler for now, and loses focus after a few minutes. I'm not sure if I see the need to see underground while driving, although these sensors, unlike the ones on current cars, don't need to be constantly clean. It seems that the underground functionality is being promoted to the military, and that does make a lot of sense as it would help to detect roadside explosives and other dangers. In the final segment, we look at an important question. Will sensors ever be good enough for us to achieve the true goal of self-driving cars? In order for a car to truly be self-driving, it needs to see at least as well and have as quick of a reaction time as humans do today, and that goal is definitely achievable. Some argue we don't even need to have better sensors like infrared, including the godfather of automated cars, Elon Musk from Tesla. However, I think he might be a bit short-sighted, as I don't think we can ever have too much sensing when it comes to our cars and the road. As I've stated before, the bar for automated cars has been set ridiculously high. I drive on the roads. Many people are not good drivers, and if they are, they're often not paying attention or are tired or angry. We should remember that when we judge how effective these new cars should be. I personally think we can get there once we solve these issues with weather, and I think we're on the right path to doing so. As always, many thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. We look forward to hearing from you, good, bad, and ugly, especially if you have some ideas for some new shows you want to hear. The best place to start is our Facebook page, The Internet of Things Made Simple. We also have links to previous material there as well. If I'm connected to you personally on LinkedIn, drop me a note through that service. And if I'm personally connected to you via old-fashioned ways, like an email or text, send me one of those. Talk soon. I'm Larry Boy Humor. Take care.